Alright, everyone, welcome to another heartwarming yet challenging story that's sure to touch your emotions. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now so you don't miss out on the journey ahead. Today's story is about trust, hope, and the twists of fate that can test even the strongest bonds. It all started a year ago when my wife, F33, and I, M34, decided to take the big step towards parenthood. We were excited, nervous, but most importantly, ready for this new chapter in our lives. Our journey began like any other. We set up our home with baby gear, read countless books on pregnancy, and eagerly awaited that positive sign. But life has a way of throwing curveballs, doesn't it? A few months into trying, I found out something that felt like a punch to the gut. My fertility was compromised due to a condition called obstructive azoospermia. The doctors explained it as a blockage in the tubes carrying sperm from my testes to my prostate gland. Essentially, this meant there was no way for me to naturally father our child. Can you imagine the weight of that news? My wife and I were devastated, but we didn't let despair take over. We promised each other that if this was what life had in store, we'd face it together. The weeks turned into months as we sought every possible treatment, from medications to surgical interventions, but nothing seemed to work. The hope started to fade, replaced by a heavy sense of uncertainty and loss. Just when things felt bleakest, something extraordinary happened. My wife decided she wanted to adopt. She looked at me with those big, hopeful eyes and said, "No matter what, we're going to be parents." It was one of the most beautiful moments in our relationship, but even as I held on tight to her words, a nagging doubt crept into my mind. What would you do if your partner's actions started making you question everything? That's exactly where I found myself. My wife began working late more often than usual, and she seemed distant. The joint account showed unusual transactions, money moving from our shared funds to her personal one without our usual discussions about it. One day, she booked a doctor's appointment for herself on a Thursday when we both had work commitments. It was like each little detail piled up until I couldn't ignore the signs anymore. Was something going on that she wasn't telling me? Could all this be just my mind playing tricks? The emotional turmoil was relentless. On one hand, there were moments of incredible connection and love between us. We'd hold hands in the park or watch movies curled up together, feeling like nothing could break our bond. But then reality would hit hard again. How do you bring up such a heavy topic without pushing your partner away? I needed to talk it out, but feared the worst. So I took a long run one morning, trying to clear my mind and gather courage. When she got home, we sat down for a calm conversation. "Can you imagine if all this was just me overthinking?" I asked her softly, pouring my heart out. "But there are these little things." She listened attentively, her expression shifting as I spoke. She explained that the financial moves were to prepare for medical costs ahead of schedule. But even as she tried to reassure me, a part of me still felt unsure. The next day, after talking it through and listening to advice from friends and family, we decided to get a second opinion on my condition. Now, as I sit here reflecting, I realize how important it is not just to trust in your partner, but also in yourself. We're still figuring out what our future holds, but one thing's for sure, no matter the outcome, we'll face it together. So, if you're watching this and going through something similar, know that you're not alone. Take a moment to breathe, reach out for support from loved ones, and keep hope alive. Because sometimes, even in the darkest moments, there's light waiting just around the corner. Thanks for joining me on this emotional journey today. If you found it helpful or moving, please give this video a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe if you want more stories like this. Until next time, stay strong and keep believing.